y'all, what is up? Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Nikki, and today I'm super excited to share with you my March bullet journal setup. I found so much inspiration on Pinterest this month. Seriously, there are so many good ideas on there. I will link my Pinterest down below in the box that's down there with all the info. But I am starting off like last month. I am showing you how I kind of set up in my theme tracker with my markers. I've got 2 Tombos, 2 Crayola Super Tips, and 1 mild liner this month, all in these kind of muted, neutrally-ish tones. But here we go. We're starting off fast. Let's start with my cover page. For March, I wanted something fresh and vibrant. So after scrolling Pinterest for much too long, I decided on this like mountains and rivers and forest theme that really caught my eye and reminded me of spring. I kept it simple because I'm no artist, and I stuck with more muted, calm colors as we go from winter to hopefully spring here in Canada. If you've been following me over on Instagram, you would know that last year I went on a printing craze and I printed out almost all of Kayla from PlanningWithKay's sticker themes. I am one of her patrons and I downloaded all of the sticker kits and printables that she has over on Patreon, and I kind of almost printed them all. I think I printed like 80% of her sticker kits. So I filled up a huge A5 binder and I just kind of had it. And if you know Kayla from PlanningWithKay, she comes out with a new kit every month. So every month she was coming out with a new kit and I wanted to use that new kit, but I had like 80% of her kits already printed. And it felt super duper wasteful for them to just be sitting in that sticker binder. So last year I made a conscious effort to start using the stickers that I had already printed out. I was still downloading my sticker kits from PlanningWithKay and putting them onto my Google Drive, but I wasn't printing them out right away unless I felt head over heels in love. So last year I put together 12 sticker kits that I was going to use. I also threw in any Happy Planner stickers that matched or other stickers that I had printed that matched in with the kit, and I had everything in a plastic sleeve in these A5 binders that I had. So I had a giant one for all of my sticker kits, and then I had a smaller one for like my year of sticker kits. And last year was my use all of the things year, and for the most part, I think I used the 12 kits that I set out to use. I think I added new kits here and there in weeklies, but I was really good about using the stickers that I had. This year I went in and I still had stickers. So this month I was going to use the Plants and Pages kit, but I really enjoyed drawing and doing some quote unquote, I'm using air quotes here, art in January. So I decided that I kind of wanted to do that this month as well. So let's go back to what is happening on the screen here. This is my monthly spread. It's the most functional of all of the things that I'm going to set up today. It is my tried and true, my go-to, my pal, my buddy. I went with a regular grid this month. I did move it over to the left, so I have 4 days of the week on the left and 3 days on the right. Sometimes I just like to switch it up. I like to change visually for my eyeballs. And I'm doing the same thing that I did in my last month setup, putting in all of my lines with my mild liner, and then I will go back and add my color, add my, extra effects, if you will. Now, this is my daily summary, and my mood tracker section, and I'm changing things up quite a bit. I saw this sunburst design on Pinterest for mood tracking, and I thought it would be perfect for my daily summary since I haven't really been writing a whole lot each day. There's just enough space to jot down key highlights from each day, and I'm hoping it will be enough for me in March. Next to that, I added my mood tracker. This month, I'm trying something very new. I actually ended up tracing this design straight from the creator since I wanted to make sure I had the 31 days and I am not an artist in any shape or form. My daily summary and my mood tracker are still my favorite spreads in all of my setups. It's just always so satisfying to see how the month turned out at a glance. And you guys know I've talked about this so much. It's lovely to look back on my day and really ruminate on how my day was. Did I have a bad day or was it a bad moment? Did I have a good day with some bad moments? It's lovely to just take that time and be mindful about that and be honest about it. Because you're allowed to have bad moments in your day, but it's important not to let them make the whole day bad. So like I've said many times, I've found all my inspiration on Pinterest. I will have it linked down below for you if you would like to come and follow me over there. I'm pretty active. I feel like I am like most elder millennials in that I go back in fits and spurts. When I feel like being on Pinterest, I'm on Pinterest a lot. And some days I just forget about it. But for the most part, I like being over there, especially for two things in particular: bullet journaling, 1, and bus life stuff, 2. That is my other obsession right now, besides bullet journaling, is bus life. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But I love this mood tracker. I cannot wait to see it filled out. I think it'll look really, really nice with the colors I picked for this theme. Very, very excited to see it filled out. You know me, can't forget the practical stuff. These two spreads are essential to my setup. This one that I'm putting in right now is my bills and my paydays. It is very boring, very simple, but super needed for my life and the functionality of my life and my money. I keep it pretty straightforward. Like I said, the month is on the left, 1 through 31, in just a list style. And then inside this box where I'm drawing currently, these lines are to separate the weeks. And in here, I like to color code. I use my purple dot marker for bills, and I use my green dot marker for paydays. I like seeing what bills come out of what paycheck and what bills are automated. When a bill is automated, I mark it with a little A in my little dot that I've made. And I leave it blank if it's something that I actually have to physically go in and pay or move around. And I'll check it off once I've either paid it or moved around the money, like in the case with my sinking funds. It's simple, it's clean, and it's effective. My movement tracker is, beside my daily summary, the tracker I've kept up with the longest. I love looking back and seeing those boxes filled in with stickers. Last month, I also added a duplicate of this tracker beside my movement tracker for meditating. If you saw my mini flip through of February at the beginning of this month, you would have seen that I meditated about 3 times. Oops. I won't force myself to do something that isn't serving me at this moment in my life. Maybe I'll try again when I'm feeling it. Or maybe I won't. After most of my fine liner lines are in, I'm going through with my cute little Easter egg eraser, and I'm erasing all of my pencil markings because I'm gonna start coloring. Now, unlike last month, I'm not done with my fine liner because I hadn't quite decided how I was going to incorporate the decorations on my functional pages, like my monthly spread, my movement tracker, my bill tracker, etc. So I'm not done with my fine liner. You will see it come back out again, and you will see my ruler again. But for now, when I was unsure, I am going back and just erasing my pencil lines. This is the only marker that I actually didn't include on my theme tracker, where I write down the numbers of the markers that I'm using, the colors that I'm using. This is the Tombow 025, and I just used it for the sun and the moon on all of my decorative parts. I wanted it to be different from the yellow that I'm using for the mountains, so I brought that in. I also brought in 2 mild liners, but I actually didn't end up using them. So you see them there in the right hand corner, but I don't actually end up using them, which is fine. And I started coloring this on camera, and then I cut most of it out because it took me a very long time and my head was in the shot quite a bit. Now, this is where I apologize to you all, and I apologize profusely. I, as you can probably see, am filming in a different location this month. My favorite place to sit and do anything bullet journal marking on my computer is actually on my floor in my living room at my coffee table. I can lean up against my couch. I find it the most comfortable. My bum does start to fall asleep after a little while, but it's really my comfort place. And I decided, let's just try it because this is where I usually do my bullet journaling anyways. But my camera angle is very, very off, and the bottom part of my screen is cut off. The bottom part of what I'm filming is cut off. So I'm going to apologize right now. I'm so sorry. You can see most of what I'm doing for most of the rest of the video, but I will apologize profusely and hope that you stay till the end. But if you don't, I completely understand. But here's my monthly. I added little circles with my colors. I have a pink in that mild liner. That is from the new Neutrals collection that mild liner released last year, 2024. I have a red and an orange from my Crayola Super Tips. And I did go through and number those just with some stickers that I had print and cut. And I put some tape all the way around it to keep the stickers on and secure. And then I have that yellow and green Tombow. This is one of my favorite Tombow colors. It's the 192, and it's the sage green, I believe, or maybe the forest green. Anyways, one of my favorites. So I mentioned earlier that you'd see my fine liner again. This is where my fine liner came back in. I decided to make these almost monthly headers like Planning with Kay has in her sticker kits. And I wanted to kind of box the decoration in like this. I thought it would just lend itself well to this design. And it turned out really, really nice, and I really like how it looks. I took my colors and I made little tiny dots for my numbers, and then I'll go through with my gel pen and number those later. Now, I am not a pro, really at anything, but I'm not a pro colorer, a person who colors. I am not a person who colors often or any sort of way, but I decided very early on in this spread, in this monthly setup, that I would keep my coloring in one direction. So for the most part, on almost all of my drawings, I take my color and I do the outline of where I'm coloring, and then I'm going and I'm coloring vertically. I'm coloring all one way. And I don't know about you, but I really like how it turns out. I really like how it looks. I really like how it gives it kind of like a streamline look, like it all looks the same. It's very conforming. And I don't know, I just find it looks nicer, it looks neater. I am not one for chaos, I'm not one for wonky lines, so I like how it turned out. I hope you like how it turned out as well. But if you're ever coloring and the wonkiness is driving you insane, try just keeping it all in one direction. But again, I say this with a little asterisk, I am not a pro. I'm not a person who colors often or even a lot. So for this page, it's very simple. I colored the sun in the middle of my sunburst for my daily summary, and then I also colored in the sun on my mood tracker. I colored it in the wrong color, by the way. And I meant to go back and color in the sky on the mood tracker because that is not actually one of the days, but I forgot to do it. So I decided to put the numbers in on both of these with my fine liner, with my Sigma Micron. And the reason I did that is because my gel pen, no matter what I do, no matter how long I wait, it seems to just smudge anytime I go over it. And the fine liner doesn't do that to me if I let it dry for a certain amount of time. So this amount of time would be about 2 weeks because I'm setting this up about mid-February and I won't use it until March 1st. So I'm hoping that there will be no smudging when I go to fill out my mood tracker on March 1st, but we shall see. I will keep you updated on that. And here I am just putting these in a color variation that I like. So with my monthly themes, I like to keep my colors sort of close to the original, but obviously I can't do that every month. So I try to keep the yellowish color as my very super happy, and then I try to pick two colors that I really like for my content and my tired days because those are my most used moods. And then I kind of do a more subdued color for my meh mood. And then I try to do a bluish color for my sad because when you're sad, you're blue. Obviously, there's no blue in this one, so I just use the orange. I try to actually use my least favorite color if there's no blue for the sad because it's not really one that I use a lot, thank goodness. But here is that fine liner again. I'm putting in my boxes, I'm putting in my little doodles. You'll see that I have moved on from penciling in, except for my sun and my moon. But I've moved on from penciling my mountains. I'm just kind of freehanding them in. Go me. I really got comfortable with drawing this theme after the first few pages, which I really like because, like I said, I'm not an artist in any way, shape, or form. That is why I've used stickers in my bullet journal up until now. But this year I really decided that I wanted to branch out, and this is me branching out. Heavily inspired. Some of the things are traced. I have photos to my left, just making sure that I know what I'm doing because I just don't. So I rely heavily on looking at others' art because I'm not an artist. Last month I put little circles for my movement tracker, and this month I wanted to go back to what I usually do, and that is one stripe of color to put in my numbers, and I just put these again in a color formation that I liked, and I'm adding those in. I did put the orange at the very, very top and the very, very bottom because I like orange, but out of these 5, it's my least favorite. So I didn't want a lot of it on this calendar, so it's in the 1st and 2nd and the 31st. And usually I do a large square for this movement tracker, and I add in quite a bit of color with the boxes that are not in the month. But this month, because it is a 6-week month, technically, because of those 2 days at the top and that one at the bottom, I decided I wouldn't just make a large rectangle, and I would actually do the month's shape so that I had room for some decorations. And I'm so sorry that you couldn't see most of what I was doing there, but I'm just basically making a number strip like Kayla from Planning with Kay does in her kits, and I've just kind of done an ombre of colors down the side, and I've numbered them for my finance tracker, and then I'm going to go in and number my movement tracker as well. And last but not least, my brain dump page. I always include one of these in my monthly spreads. I didn't always include one of them, but now I do. It's perfect for jotting down random thoughts, ideas, or even math calculations that pop into my head throughout the month. It's nice to just have that blank spread that's designed specifically for random thoughts. It's hard for me to just turn to an open page and jot things down, but if I have a spot designated for it, I'll use it. Now, the page on the right, I left blank to come back to later when I found inspiration for a decorative page, maybe to also put in a quote. But I ended up forgetting to include the 1st and 2nd of the month, so this page came in clutch. I actually left this page blank, and I decided to set it up with my bullet journal club that Friday that we got together to set up our bullet journals. I figured I'd show them my new month and kind of what I was doing, and then I'd set up a simple spread because bullet journaling club with my 10 kiddos gets kind of hectic. There's a lot of questions, so a lot of my bullet journal doesn't get done, but a lot of their bullet journals do get done, and it's super fun to just sit with 10 kiddos that are excited about bullet journaling and creating and like getting organized and stickers and markers, and it's like having 10 little mini me's, and it's adorable. But it was just a simple spread. I did some decoration at the top, and then I just cut the page in half because it was only 2 days. I like to keep the days of the month in my monthly setup, even if it's not a full week. So the 1st and 2nd of March are a Saturday and a Sunday, so I just needed a half page for that. So I'm very, very glad that I didn't actually put a decorative page there because I needed it. Now we are on to the final spread. We are on to my first full week in March. This just so happens to be March break for me here in Canada, and I'm very, very excited for this week. I have been loving the simplicity of simply dividing the page into 4 equal parts, but I wanted to include my boxed in decorations here as well. And I love how Kayla from Planning with Kay makes her printable grid weeklies like this. She has a big decorative piece cut right through the middle, but there's still lots of space each day for tasks and notes and things like that. I love how comfortable I got drawing this theme as my setup went on, and I'm hoping by the end of the month I will have done this enough that I'm super comfortable maybe branching out and creating my own theme, even if it's still based on others for inspiration. I just love that I'm giving this a shot, because how many times in this video have I said that I am not an artist? Probably a lot. I've always been really super creative and I've always loved art, but I've always felt like a little bit of imposter syndrome. But I love being creative, so anything new that I can grasp onto, I will grab with both hands greedily. And here comes the fun part. You didn't think I was going to go this whole setup with no stickers, did you? So I go in to my cute little Happy Planner disc sticker release paper sticker book. This is a mishmash of leftover kits and actual stickers that I have printed and cut to fit in here with the sticker paper just as it is. But I really couldn't decide on a font that I wanted this month, so it really is just a bunch of the ones that I like. And I think that's okay. I started off with the curly Q March on the very front. I just love those big curly Q months. And then I kind of go in with like a sketchy weekly headers for my monthly. And then I have another cursive gratitude and mood for my daily summary and my mood tracker. I didn't really like the daily summaries that I had printed out, so I ended up using a Patreon printable from must have been a couple years ago. Kayla had made a bunch of headers and one of them was gratitude, so I ended up using that because, I mean, it's my daily summary, but some of them are gratitude. I think it fits. And then for my bills and my movement, I ended up using the budget one and then the tracker one because I'm budgeting and I'm tracking, so it made sense for me. And you'll see now I start to get a little flip happy and I'm going through back and forth, back and forth. There's no rhyme or reason. I went back and added a to-do header on my monthly spread with just a little swatch of the red color. And now I'm back in my weeklies because I hadn't decided how I wanted to put my days of the week in here. But as I was going through, I was kind of like, let's keep the box theme. Let's just go with it. Let's just do some boxes with our theme's color, and then I will put some stickers in, which is exactly what I did. I ended up putting the boxes on the top and bottom as opposed to them all being on the top because I wanted to, I don't know, branch out. I wanted to do something different. And I actually set this up before I set up my third week in February, and I loved it so much that I did the exact same setup for my third week in February, and I used a new washi set that I got in the mail. It's a PET tape, one of those clear Kiss Cut ones. If you would like to see that, you can head on over to my Instagram, Pitbull Mom Plans, and I share photos of all of my spreads over on Instagram. Like Instagram was intended to be used. And that's my March bullet journal setup. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to see how it evolves as the month goes on. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what theme you're using for March. Are you drawing? Are you using stickers? Are you a simple pen and paper person? I love those people. You are the real MVP of simplicity. But thank you so much for watching. Stay creative, stay inspired, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully for next month's bullet journal setup. Bye, y'all.